Hello and good morning to another adventure breakdown. Today we are tackling Doge Freneric's adventure, the latest one. It's one of the last units in this game that are going to be released at this point in time. He's a pretty good unit, actually. There's a lot of stuff you can do with him, and this adventure is trying to do a good job to showcase that. Now I have to apologize in advance to Kyle, because I believe that he took a lot of time to design some of these encounters and like put them together in a way that you will see, oh, I can throw these bags and the enemy summons turn and then they fight amongst themselves and I can win the encounter with ease without even attacking and stuff like that. And half of these encounters I just tore through them. I just went with like a powerhouse team, like threw my own summons on the board instead of using the enemy summons, and just like shot it back at the enemy. So there's a very good chance that Kyle is gonna watch this and he's just gonna go, oh, why are you doing this to me? So sorry. Also sorry to those of you at home who like don't have the same units. But I hope that there's still gonna be a couple of encounters where you're gonna be like, okay, this is a strategy that works for me, and of course we can always try and find something that works for you, of course. So yeah, good morning to Random Dude and Mr. Existed, or Mrs. I think it's a guy, but you never know. All right, so this is where we are right now. We are in the adventure, didn't tackle Legendary yet. As always, we're playing Legendary live, and I got most of these encounters on the first try. This was one of the, like, for me at least, one of the easiest adventures there have ever been. Which is not to say that it's going to be easy for everybody. It's just getting easier over time. Obviously, we have a fixed number of units in this game, and I've worked on most of them. And also, Kyle is, I believe Kyle is doing a better and better job making the harder requirements. Like, for example, only play light units, and he's using them for the uncommon and rare levels. So when we get to epic, it's a bit more forgiving. Like, you can play whoever you want for the most part. Epic encounter number 1 is what many people believe to be the hardest encounter. But before we get to that, we have a couple of common and uncommon encounters to break down. So without further ado, let's pause this live stream and watch back my recording. So this is common encounter number 1, where you're only allowed to play mages. And that's where you can get like a very early feel for this entire adventure, because we're going to see like a lot of this. And whenever I only can play mages, I mean, if you have Dorga, you can also place Dorga like in the middle here and then get like a gigantic summon. But I just love putting shades on the board. They tend to be pretty good. Here it would have also made sense to turn this enemy summon and have it attack one of the archers. You definitely need a ranged unit, so Queen Akeshru is a bit of a must. I'm even thinking like, who else is an option here? Servatus, not so much in my personal opinion. I get maybe, I don't know, I don't think so. Penda could be an option, but he's not super powerful at the lower rarities. Penda gets more powerful at the legendary rarities. So yeah, I thought that Dark is the way to go, and we can kind of see that here. We just go in and then finally, obviously also Freneric himself is a ranged mage, so you have that guy. Alright, this is how we did common encounter number 1 on the first attempt. That's something we need to keep track of. This is the second encounter, first attempt. 0 points, first attempt. And we're going to see quite a couple of those. So 2 encounters, 2 perfect victories on the first try. This time I placed my units in a way that Nimrod can go in the middle between these enemies, because that seemed to make a lot of sense. I do not believe that the way to go here is to immediately throw the bag of Freneric at this enemy. I think you should save it for a little later. In my case, I just went with the good old painted black strategy. Like, everything is being turned into darkness, and then you have like a bunch of summons on the board. This is probably not the ideal movement. Queen Akeshru should be at least 1 more tile to the bottom, so you can then easily connect next turn with her. Anyway. We are ending up with 1 enemy and 3 more turns to go, so pretty easy. I'm even spending time turning this summon. There's not much point to it, but I mean, if you can, why not go for it? You can also throw another bag. Yeah, I just threw them around for fun at some point. I was just like, yeah, here, Kamelle, as they say in Germany. Good morning, hey, just passing by. So that's common encounter number 2, and that takes us to common encounter number 3, which I mastered on the first attempt. We again don't have to meet any special requirements, which means we can play whoever we want. If you can play whoever you want, you know where this is going. You've seen enough adventure streams at this point, right? You know exactly who I'm talking about. There he is, Silverwood, the absolute adventure MVP in the house. Kyle would be proud. So Silverwood in the back, which means that even though these guys are very, very far away from us, it's not much of a problem. We are gonna get you. We're gonna get you good. That's a Shania Twain song. Because eventually we're gonna just like wipe the board with Silverwood. So the only thing we need to do is not take damage and flood the board with summons. But that's basically Riven Guard 101, so what else is new? So we have this one summon, pick up a bag, so he's getting attacked by his own, which means the enemies are not attacking us, so all of that is great. And then we just like take out enemies left and right wherever we can. So here we see the active of Queen Akeshru taking out Aradel. Could have made more sense if we could have connected on the right side. And now look at this, 3 enemies, all of them like severely harmed, and then Silverwood just goes and picks up the pieces. So that's how we get the perfect victory in just 2 turns. So the turn clock, we could have done like much better. All right, uncommon encounter number 1 with the most restrictive requirement, which is only play light units on the first attempt. Yes, we are going on a tear. This might have been my masterclass in terms of adventure mastery. Yeah, a masterclass of mastery. That's like double mastery actually. So this time we are going in and we want to have summons on the board to ensure that the enemies cannot really do anything to us, that they're going to be busy doing other stuff. And this is one of those encounters where I started to feel bad. I'm like, I believe it would have been the intention of the level designer to throw bags. So I did just to like prove a point. Yeah, I can actually do what you want me to do if I want to. I felt like here it would make sense to throw some bags. And then very often I felt, it would be cool if we could somehow get like a second use out of Freneric. It would be much more fun to throw even more bags. So Yasmin could have been an option, but I didn't need her. I mean, this seemed like pretty straightforward because we have so many turns to master this, to get the perfect score. Here you can attack with Sir Matt, but he would end up in some thorns, and then there's so many summons on the board that there's a chance he's gonna get hurt. So that's why I didn't attack with him and kept him in the back, and that seemed to be the right call. Good morning! Hey! Hello, Mrs. SR, and Malepitya, hey! Alright, uncommon encounter number 2, the first encounter where we actually needed a second attempt. This time the requirement is play ranged units. My problem in the first run was that the Giggs bomb was basically getting picked up by the enemies. They were stepping on all of the eggs. So I thought, how can I make sure that these eggs come to hatch? So that's why I'm playing Umanu, and I'm giving these guys hammer time. So they are not doing anything. They are pausing. Then we do have the great combo. I mean, I like this combo a lot. You know this, with Giggs. And then her name is Grandma Bones. So we get some summons, and now we have a bunch of summons on the board. So relatively easy. We are just checking, is lifesteal going to be stealing all of the life? It doesn't, so we just crit it, because that's how you play this game. Yeah, better be lucky than good. Alright, and now we have 2 enemies. One of them we could turn with a bag of gold, but we're just shooting them down, because we're boring like that. I mean, it works, okay? It works. So that was uncommon encounter number 2. And that takes us to uncommon encounter number 3. And after that little hiccup, we're back to perfect victorying. Yeah, that's a verb. These encounters on the first attempt. So, 6 encounter in this adventure. First one where I needed a second attempt was the one before. Alright, here I forgot to turn on the sound. Sorry for that. So this is a bit of a downer. I should just try and give you guys the sound effect. So that was Nimrod who goes poo. And then after that I'm thinking about, okay, who's gonna attack next? We do have the Dark Dragon did already here we go with the Dark Dragon. So and then we have a Ice Sorceress going down. Then we shoot with Nixie and another enemy goes down. After that we can finally use Ranaklu, who goes with the Cursed Touch. Shush. That's the magic effect. And then we have like an open board almost, and all of these enemies are basically down. So now, Infinite Shade surrounding a snowman. I mean, that's an unfair fight if I've ever seen one. After that, we take him down with yet another timely attack, and that gives us another perfect victory. So here we go. We are on a tear, we're on a roll, and we're fighting through this adventure. And that takes us to rare encounter number 1. Alright, so here we are only allowed to play these guys from the, not Hive, from the faction that Freneric is a part of. I will one day remember what the name is. 5-port. So the hardest part for me is always figuring out which units belong to this faction. I don't know why, but I cannot for the life of me remember who is a member of this faction. So after I figured that out and I'm like, oh yeah, Vittoria is like part of that faction. Okay, cool. And we can have a healer with the Pope. He's the Pope, okay? We all know this is actually resembling a Pope. We can get the perfect score very easily. Okay, I didn't walk you guys through the strategy. I hope you're gonna be okay with that. That takes us to rare encounter number 2, where again, we do not have to do any prep work. First attempt, play some mages. All right, let's go in, let's go hard, and give another perfect victory. Or the actual traditional rhyme that I usually do is let's go in, let's go hard, let's show these enemies what we've got. Yes, we can actually even like have Riven Guard rap lyrics. That's a thing now. So we just go in, enemy basically down, and then second turn we win. I'm pretty certain there was a strategy in there where you can go a different route and you can throw backs and stuff, but why? Just use all of your ranged units and boom, 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 boom. So this encounter, I was like, okay, I want to get Queen Akeshu into this spot so she can attack the back row. So I just played a couple of other guys that can help me take out this guy on the left or turn him, which then means that I can now stand next to him and use the active. That's the entire idea of my strategy here. And that worked like an absolute charm. So we get rid of this guy and then enemy starts summoning something and we're like, okay, we win. So pretty straightforward. To me it seemed kind of obvious. You just need to like isolate this one guy on the left side so you can use the active of Queen Akeshu. Hey Monster Mash! Is it super late where you are? It's the middle of the night almost, right? So that takes us to rare encounter number 4, where we have to play light units. So and I was actually feeling like, ooh, there's enough good light units in this game now, which is new. They're like for the longest time in adventures, the hardest encounters have always been these encounters where you have to play light units, and you're like, oh, I only have Tana and maybe Yasmin and maybe Sir Matt. Most people don't have a strong Sir Matt. I'm a very big believer in Sir Matt, and yeah, so it worked for me. It's 3 a.m. couldn't sleep. Oof, that sucks. I'm sorry, man. So here's a misplay. Let's just pause this for a second. The correct play would have been to take out this enemy down here, the Frost Sorceress, with Yasmin, if you can. Because then you can use the heal of Freneric, of the Pope. I'm gonna remember his name eventually, okay? Eventually I'm gonna remember his name. If you know his name, let me know in the chat. And then you can heal one of your horses. That's one of those underrated plays that everybody always forgets about, at least I am. You can heal these horses and then they're gonna be like a lot more durable. They're gonna hang around for a little bit longer. So, I played it differently. Also, I'm trying to catch the name now. Lucente is his name, the Pope Lucente III. Yes, here we go. So Lucente is actually a unit, and you can use him here to heal the horse. Look at the horse. Horse is finally good. Horse is like, yep, I have second wind now. That's I mean, there's a saying, like, you know, with the lung of a horse, basically. At least that's a saying in some countries. In my country, I guess. Good morning, hey Manish, hello. Hi, PvP Pinoy, hello. So, and then after that, we find ourselves in a really good spot. We still have the second attempt to throw horses on the board. I think I forgot about it, to be honest. I forgot about the fact that I still could summon more horses. Alright, so eventually we're like, okay, let's heal, and then let's just get rid of this enemy. And that's it. This seemed too easy. I think I was missing something. Maybe this was supposed to be harder. But I felt like this is a good strategy. Alright, rare encounter number 5. We have to play mages again. So this time I see some ice on the map, and when I see ice on the map, I'm eventually bringing out my baggy pants and start dancing from side to side. Actually, no, that's the other guy. That's Umano, that's Hammer Time. No, I think of Penda immediately. I thought that Penda is going to be strong enough to one-shot Corrin. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, but I was like, let's just hit him regardless. Let's just see what happens. Then we throw some bags on the floor. I like this move. I think often it is actually better to throw the bag immediately at the enemy, which just goes to show that I haven't been playing with yeah, now I'm mixing them up, of course, with Doge Freneric enough. Yeah, it's actually my fault. So I think I'm too fond of the other guy, and I cannot remember one of their names. Alright, so Corrin comes out, which is normally not good news, especially if he can deal damage to everybody. Then there's a classical misplay. What would have been the correct play? I give you 2 seconds to watch this. So you have a Nixie here, you have a Doge Freneric or any ranged unit next to it, and you want to heal it. What's the correct move? Well, everybody knows. You first sidestep with Nixie, then you leave a Life Blossom, and then you move Doge Freneric or whatever your ranged unit is onto the Life Blossom to heal it. What a noob mistake that I'm making here. So we now have to give up the attack of Nixie for the turn. I mean, it's not like there's a guy that did like a preview of Nixie and said she's the best healer in the game, because you don't have to give up your turn to heal, because you can just sidestep and still attack on the same turn and heal with Nixie, and that's what makes her so good. Anyway, so this is how we... Oops, sorry, light. So this is how we did this and ended up with yet another lightning victory. And I think this was on the first attempt. So, epic encounter number 1. The hardest encounter in this game. This was my second try. First try was with Giggs and Queen Akeshu. And people have been telling me that yes, you can actually solve this with these 2 guys. But I thought, thank you, but I prefer it my way. So we're doing it my Vera style. Shout out to Trippy Tucker. So I'm like, yeah, this is fun enough. I'm gonna give this a try. So we're moving here, and then we're doing that move to get rid of 3 enemies at the same time. I'm still not convinced this is the best play, but I thought like, okay, this is so fun. I need to do this. And then we're again going with my favorite move, which is throwing bags next to the enemy. At least it was my intention. I forgot about the fact that these enemies... then you throw more bags, the higher Freneric is in terms of rarity. Then we're moving Naevis to the back, which gives a buff to Doge Freneric, and he just goes boom, and we win. Even if we didn't shoot down the summon, on the enemy turn, the summon would have stepped on another bag, and then it would have converted to our team, and if you at any point have taken down all the enemies, you're gonna get the points, you're gonna get the victory. Alright, this encounter is 100%, like, this is a trap, okay? This is actually a trap. So Kyle was like, ha, I'm making it look like what you can do is getting a gigantic field of shades. And for whatever reason, I didn't think about this too much. I was like, yeah, let's take the invitation. Let's just go with it. Let's just turn everything black. And this is the trap. You're not supposed to go for that. There is some other strategy. I don't even know what it is, which very likely involves a couple of paper bags or gold bags by Doge Freneric. So I'm like an headless idiot just powering through this encounter now. And I'm pretty certain that this is the exact strategy you're not supposed to do. Okay? So, I mean, you can try this. This is one of those, don't try it at home. You can try this at home. I'm just pretty certain this is not the way to do it. So this is definitely a misplay, or very likely a misplay, not 100%. I think it would have been smarter to take down one enemy with Doge, and then you have another summon, okay? It could have been a better move. I thought I need the bags here to turn these enemies. I'm still not convinced this is the case. So I'm using Doge Freneric, and then I'm throwing some bags, I think at this guy, but I'm not 100%. Yeah, I did throw at this guy. And now these enemies, look at this. They're stepping on they're stepping on the piles, and they're not doing anything. So I didn't really gain anything by doing this. So I'm pretty certain this was not the way this was supposed to go. But anyway, I'm just powering through it. I'm just, yep, okay, whatever. I still have a couple of attackers, and you guys are just gonna go down. So here I'm going with a tree, because I didn't want these archers to easily be able to shoot my guys, which worked like an absolute charm. I mean, there's absolutely no reason to doubt that this was the strategy to go here. We have a half-dead runner clue, and we don't have any more summons. So yeah, don't shoot your enemies. Instead, plant trees. Okay? Freedom, peace, and stuff like that. So I think I could have played this in 40 different ways, way better than I did, that I ended up playing this. But at the same time, I was like, well, I have 3 more turns, so I can just give this a try. So this time we're playing a little bit better in that we're moving our units next to the tree. And also we are setting up a Nixie healing with sidestepping with Nixie this time. So here you see Nixie is like sidestepping a little bit, planting more of these flowers. And I'm even going a bit risky here. I'm moving into the thorns to hit the guy in the back. I'm not sure I would recommend this for everybody because Nixie is so paper thin, but if you're lucky and you just crit your enemies, this works. Okay? I'm not sure if there's any takeaway in this for you. So on the last turn, because this level is rather forgiving, we're getting a crit hit, and then we get another crit hit. But even without the crit hits, I think we could have gone there. So it should have been fine. But yeah, we did get lucky in this encounter. I don't think this is the best strategy by any stretch of the imagination. Epic Encounter 3 has the easiest requirement in the game, in the entire game, which is, I mean, okay, play whoever you want is probably the easiest, but after that, it is play ranged units. So I like this map a lot. It's also a PvP map. It's one of my favorite PvP maps because this is the map where I famously move forward with my super skinny mages, and then an enemy Tanamo is gonna tear through all my summons that I usually create here, and then from the summons the Tanamo has high ground and attacks down all of my mages. And sometimes I end up after the first turn with only Accio because I'm not looking at my enemies. I'm just playing my regular game plan without thinking about it for another second. Did I mention I'm good at this game? Alright, so now we are thinking about how can we connect with these guys in the back, and at the same time, if possible, collect some summons. I don't think we're collecting summons. I think we're generating summons. So I'm thinking about this, and then I'm sidestepping with Nixie. I'm still not sure this is the best move, to be honest. Here it would have made the most sense to use Doge, because he cannot connect with anybody else. He can only move two spots, so this would have been the only target for him. So I'm playing this not in the ideal way by any stretch of the imagination, but it's still good enough. And then for some reason I love throwing backs. I don't know. I honestly don't know. So here we're taking some damage, courtesy of Naevis. However, the tree is healing us immediately, so we're good. And then there's only one more enemy. It is the last turn, but we do get a crit hit. Without a crit hit, this would have been a bit harder. But keep in mind, we still had the active of Queen Akeshru, and it was very much possible to take this enemy down even without getting super lucky with a crit hit. Alright, that's basically it for all the pre-recorded contents. So that takes us to where we are right now. And as you guys can see, we're at the legendary encounter. We still have 6 attempts because I finished everything yesterday evening, and then I was like, okay, it's getting too late, I have to go to bed. So let's do this tomorrow morning, which is right now basically. And now we can tackle the legendary encounter. The legendary encounter, I did peek a little, does have a requirement, which means it's going to be easy enough because we can only play mages if we want to get the high score. Now we're going to fight ice with ice, which is a wordplay on fire with fire, obviously, because there's very likely a chance that we are playing our own Panda here. If there's ice on the board, Panda is an absolute powerhouse. If you have a highly leveled Panda, oh, okay. Okay, so there's no ice. I guess we can create some ice. Also, this is the final boss level of Panda. So who do we want? Well, I think Nixie makes a lot of sense with all of these archers in the back. Also, how strong are these guys? Oh, that's silver rank. I thought diamond rank. No, that's silver rank too. Okay, so they are not really an enemy. They're just there. Okay. These guys are not super strong. How many? Oh, we got 3 turns. Okay. Okay. So let's get rid of the guys at the front. They are also... What's with all the silver rank units? Did somebody mix up the symbols because they're supposed to be diamond rank or something? I don't know. We could throw the backs. I don't think that we're gonna get a whole lot of leverage or value out of Grandma Bones. I want to have a healer, so Nixie's gonna be in the team, Queen Akeshu's gonna be in the team, I see summon, so I play Runner Clue, that's the oldest trick in the book. And then, I mean, we could play Dogger, but there's really no need to. I think Panda is actually fine here, because we can just create our own eyes. Yeah, these guys are so weak. We're gonna be just creating our own eyes. So the idea is we're gonna get rid of the guys at the front with timely active of Queen Akeshru, if that's possible. I mean, we're doing 1800 to 2400. These guys only have 1-4, but they are okay. We just shoot them. We just one-shot them. Oh, we do have high ground here. Let's do. We need to get rid of both. Let's do this. It's fine. It's fine. So now we can create some shades. Okay, now we have an opening, so that means we can create some ice. So next turn we're gonna kick everybody's butt, and then we can create another shade, and then with so many shades, we can even shoot them from the back. So what's Panda gonna do? Panda's gonna move one. Panda has 2 movement, right? 3 movement. 3 movement, 2 range. That's, yeah. 3 movement, 2 range. But his active goes 3. So he can go 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So there's a chance that Panda is just gonna be a problem. So because we don't want him to be a problem, we're just gonna plant a tree. And now he cannot use his active and hit our other guys because he has to hit the tree. And by hitting the tree, he's gonna kill himself. And we're already in a position where we basically won this game. Yeah, so there's like next to nothing. Bring in Panda anyway, absolutely. Servatus is an option, yeah. Servatus would have been an option, that's true. So let's just move in. Boom, Panda dead. Fighting ice with ice, as I said. We can move to the front. And we still have the active. Whoa, wow. Okay, so we're just going ham on these enemies. Okay, and that's it. Boom. Oh, nice. The festival quest on the side. Woohoo! And we even get the Aurochs horn. So, pretty straightforward encounter if you're asking me. But then again, when you look at this team, I mean, the weakest unit in this team is Nixie as a Diamond Rank 2, and she's missing one more upgrade to be a Diamond Rank 3 unit. Yeah, so if you do not happen to have an absolutely stacked roster, it's gonna be a bit harder, obviously. If you happen to have a Dorga, there's still options that you can just play this a little bit slower, but I would not advise to try and like drag this out forever. Servatus is definitely an option. You can definitely do stuff with Servatus here. As Monster Mash pointed out. But who are we gonna use? Oh, are we gonna use it on the Archer in the back? I don't know if that's a real strategy. I think this team is quite good actually. Yeah. I don't see anybody else where I'm like, oh Tim. Cool. You can also play this with Tim if you want. But let's see if I got lucky or if it is that easy actually. So yeah, this guy just goes down immediately, and then Ranaklu, he doesn't mind if they take enough damage or not. And then we create ice in the back. Yeah, it seems like this is working like clockwork. Oh, by the way, we still have the active of Doge Freneric if we need to. Yeah, I think the Nixie tree is kind of key, at least to some degree. Okay, this is a like really nice rhyme at this point. The Nixie tree is kind of key. Okay, I see myself out. And here we can use the active. Yeah, they are just too weak. These enemies are too weak because they're all just silver rank guys. Okay, so this seems to work like a charm. Don't know if anybody else has trouble with these encounters. If so, let me know. I didn't even bring Nixie. Yeah, I think even without Nixie, this should be relatively easy. Anyway, so this should be the final encounter, which means we're gonna get some more gold and another essence because we're really in desperate need of essences. Yeah. Thanks. I don't even know if I can upgrade him now. Because I do have this unit as a legendary. Lucky me. Okay, we need another 35. 35 laurels and we're gonna get him to Purple Star 4. Which is nice. Also, the equipment is so random. Yeah, okay, but that's basically it. That's already the entire festival. So there's not much else we can do. We can open some chests. So let's see if we're getting lucky with maybe some other stuff. Because I did collect a couple in between the last stream and this more. Yeah, thanks. I desperately need essences, yeah. In case you didn't know, there's a couple, the Cinder's Fire Spitter. Yeah, it sometimes makes a weird sound when you're pushing it around. So you need to use like the stuff in the essences. It's like oil basically, it's like grease. And then you have to apply it to the wheels. And that keeps it going. So if you're having problem with your Fire Spitters and you're like a Cinder fan, you should be happy whenever you get an essence. Which is why the game is feeding me essences left and right all the time. It's like an ongoing choke at this point in time. I'm late. Yeah, kind of, but it's all good. All right. I know you guys are wondering the same thing, everybody in the chat. How can I win the Sounding Token giveaway? Super easy. You just leave a comment below the video. After this live stream is finished, I think you cannot comment while the live stream is still underway. No worries. I'm going to be stopping to talk in just a second. We're just going through this. And let us know what your favorite encounter is in this adventure. Personally, I just liked my super janky attempt. Oh, we're missing 20. Are we not going to get there? No, I'm not going to get 600 points in 2 seconds. Unless we're, I don't know, we need to play some Guild Raid, I guess. But that's only 40 points. Woohoo! More chests to open. Yeah, rings. Finally some rings. Okay, and if you leave a comment below the video and point out what your favorite encounter is, I'm gonna be drawing one lucky winner, like roughly this time tomorrow, or maybe in the evening, who knows. Maybe even when double gold day starts or something like that. And then I'm gonna let you guys know who won the giveaway. So just leave a comment below. You can't write a comment under the video. Yes, that is because the stream is still going on. It's not, it has nothing to do with you being banned. No worries. All right. So that's kind of it for today. Unless anybody has any pressing questions, or you can just send me a message on Discord. All right, that's probably the easiest way. We are going to play Onslaught soonish because I'm slow rolling my way through this festival. I'm only at quest number 10, 4 more arena battles, and then eventually there's a quest. Eventually, I don't know which one it is. There's eventually a quest where you have to play one Onslaught battle, and I'm gonna save that quest so we can play Onslaught together. It's very likely going to happen tomorrow evening, maybe even this evening, I don't know. No, I'm banned in general from YouTube comments. What? What did you do? I didn't ban anybody. That's odd. All right. How did you? I've never heard of anybody getting banned in general from YouTube comments. Okay, interesting. I have no idea. Okay, that's an interesting problem. Did you ever contact support and ask them whether you can speak to the manager? Maybe that was it. You were asking to speak to the manager and they were like, no, we're not going to have that Karen stuff. Go away. We're going to ban you forever from writing comments. All right, guys, that's it. I wish you all good luck in this adventure. I hope that you can get the final chest, or at least the second to last chest with some of these walkthroughs. If you have some alternative strategies that you want to share with the community, be my guest. Throw something below in the comments, or you can also do so on the official Discord. We've had this in the past at the last adventure. There were 1 or 2 encounters that were relatively hard. Nobody knew, or very few people knew how to do them. One of them, there was actually a mistake in the config, and you should have had like 4 turns to finish it, and you only had 2. You can also throw it in Creator's Corner. We've had this in the past adventure. If I scroll it just a little bit up, I'm going to find it eventually, where... yeah, here, people are pointing out how they got the... okay, this is actually for something else. But we did this, okay? We did this for the last couple of adventures. Here's an alternative strategy for epic number 1. Yes, see? So that's what we're doing. We're sharing the gift of adventure mastery. All right, that's it for today. Hope to see you guys very soon again. Like I said, there's going to be a live stream where we're breaking down some Onslaught. Now, you don't forget to leave a comment below the video so you can win some summoning tokens. And with that, I'm out. Happy ribbon guarding, everyone.